my name is Rosalie Tensett, and I'm an actress and a filmmaker. And I also coach kids who are starting to go pro or to get ready for their pro auditions or even just their auditions for their community theater or their school plays. One of the questions I get asked most often is, hey, do you think my kid is right for show business professionally? And usually what makes people say that is either they see their kids constantly singing and dancing and putting on shows for their friends and neighbors, or they are usually the star of their school plays, or maybe they already have a YouTube channel.
Mom, look at this kid on YouTube. This is so easy. I can do this. I should get paid to do this.
Yeah. Maybe they're watching a movie.
You gotta be kidding me. Mom, look at Ron in Harry Potter. He's so easy. I can take that role.
Maybe your child is just so gorgeous or unique looking or has this personality that is so wonderful that everybody says to you, that kid should be on television. Maybe your child already is trained. They've been singing or taking dancing lessons for years or taking acting classes, and you're wondering, hey, is it time? Is it time for them to try a professional audition? Or maybe they're begging you to go on a professional audition, which is usually the case. Well, no matter where they are, there's likely a place for them in this business, for them to work professionally. It depends on a number of factors. It depends on what your goals are. It depends on the parent's ability to facilitate and administrate and put the time and the energy into getting you to the auditions. And it's also about your mindset or your approach to the business. All those factors are unique to every family, and you're going to be the only one who's going to know, is this going to work for us as a family? So let's talk about what kind of jobs are out there for kids to get in the business. Well, like we talked about with the singer, dancer, actor types, if your child, if that's what they want to do, obviously stage is where they belong. They may want to do musical theater or what we call straight theater, which is not musical theater, but just plays. But even if you don't live in New York and Broadway is not your goal, there is a lot of work in different regions. For instance, like Minneapolis has the Guthrie and a ton of different theaters that exist there, and they're always looking for child actors. And everybody knows that once a year, every regional theater in the country is doing a Christmas Carol, which calls for all those Cratchit kids and Tiny Tim. And so, yes, there is opportunity for children to find work working professionally on stage. Then there's television, which needs no explanation. You turn on your television and yes, there are kid actors. Disney, Nickelodeon, which auditions in New York. There's all sorts of different, and they, by the way, they look on both coasts for kid actors. So just because you're in one coast or the other doesn't mean you couldn't find jobs for those different channels that are always looking for kids. Look at ABC, they use children all the time, and they do national searches for that. And they do self-tapes, which if you look at some of the other videos we have here, I cover self-taping. So you can be anywhere in this country and find work professionally as a kid. Film requires no explanation. Obviously, movies are always looking for kids. Again, they do big searches. Yes, LA and New York are your two biggest markets, but self-taping, they are looking for the right kid and they'll do whatever it takes to find that right kid. Print work. Anybody can do print work. They're looking for real families and real people, in addition to those gorgeous people, to do print work and modeling. And modeling and print work can be both just be shot like photos for magazines or for advertisements. Like when you walk into Target and you're in the back to school section, all those kids carrying books, right? Babies R Us, they're looking for babies all the time for pictures. Print work can pay anywhere from nothing to $25 to $500 to $20,000, depending on what the product is and how long they want you to be exclusive. We'll talk about exclusivity later as we get into the nitty gritty in the business. Commercials. Commercials are extremely lucrative. Commercials are great. Both my child Angus and I have both done a lot of commercial work. And depending on the product and where it plays, it can be very lucrative. Industrials are similar to commercials, but they usually are in-house at a company. So let's say, I don't know, 3M or Novartis or some big corporation wants a training video for their employees or as potential to sell to another client. Those are in-house videos and they use actors for those. Reality series. there's two different camps when it comes to actors working in reality series. If you can become like a huge star, and because you have such a huge following, let's say, use the example of Mimi Leakes, right? She was an Atlanta housewife, and she ended up on several television shows. But the percentage of reality star people that end up really working as a legitimate actor later is pretty small. Even though, spoiler alert, those shows are cast. So I hate to ruin your reality show, but they really do go out and cast those shows. And we see, as actors, we see the breakdowns for that. So I don't want to spoil it, but you know, there is that work, but will you work later as a legitimate actor? I don't know the answer to that question. There's so many factors at work when it comes to that. So yes, no matter where you live or what your goal is, there likely is a place for your child to work in the business professionally. In the following videos, I'm going to be addressing how do you look for that legitimate work, how do you find real work versus scams, dealing with all sorts of different details and nitty-gritty about working in the business as a parent of a child who wants to work professionally.
Hello!
Angus is actually a child actor, and you've been acting how long? Since you were
Since I was 4.
Since you were 4 years old, he became a union actor. We're going to show him going to different auditions. We're going to show some behind-the-scenes footage when we are actually at the jobs that we work. We work quite often. And so you'll get to see what it takes to be a real working child in the business.